PBS TV stations, and both TV satellite networks, Dish Network Channel 9415, Free Speech TV, 9410 Link TV, and on Direct TV, Channel 375. And we're video and audio podcasting at democracynow.org. Our headlines are also available in Spanish for any radio station to take, as over 250 are. I'm Amy Goodman as we go back now to my interview with Wata Khanfar, the Director General of Al Jazeera, the Arabic and English language network that is based in Qatar. How often do U.S. government officials go on Al Jazeera, even though it is not broadcast here?
Very often. You know, I think we have just a few weeks ago hosted Hillary Clinton on our show in Doha, Joe Biden. We hosted many other, Robert Gates and others. They go. I mean, I think with this current administration, we have started dialogue. I have met a lot of officials. We had a lot of discussion, including Mrs. Clinton when she came to Doha. And I think there is a prospect for, you know, not only dialogue, but also for proper understanding of the role of Al Jazeera in the Middle East.
What is H.R. 2278, which is our own bill, legislation that was passed in December?
It is scary. It is something difficult to understand. It contradicts what the Americans stand for, which is democracy and freedom of expression. You know, this bill suggests that some satellite operators who put on certain channels in the Middle East, if these channels broadcast material that is viewed as anti-American, they will be classified as pro-terrorism, and then, you know, they will be listed officially by the government as, terrorist organizations or pro-terrorist organizations. Now, who is going to judge this material that is aired on these satellites? What is the role of those who are going to, to operate, satellite operators? I think the best thing that has ever happened to the Arab world was to have satellite channels. These channels freed the Arab mind from the chains of propaganda that governments wanted the audience to see every day. So to come and fight these channels and to come to fight these operators, it means really that we are going back to dark ages, going back in time. It is not possible. It will give the Americans very bad name in the region. People love free press and they love independent channels. Yes, sometimes some of these channels might go a little bit of, and they might really reflect the anger and the frustration that some people in the region have. But is the best approach is to go and take them off air? Or the best approach is to have discussion and dialogue with them and try to minimize this kind of hatred or this kind of anger that you could see on the screen? I'm afraid that although the list of channels that were mentioned in this do not include Al Jazeera, so Al Jazeera is not part of it, so I can speak freely about it. But I can tell that, who knows that tomorrow governments also in the region might not use this kind of opportunity for them in order to crack down on opposition. Because since 2001, a lot of Arab governments use the so-called war on terrorism to also settle their disputes with opposition in the region, with independent voices in the region. So it is a very sensitive matter, and I don't think this bill should go through.
Al Jazeera in Yemen, what's happening?
Yemen is very complicated, the situation in Yemen. There are three conflicts that simultaneously taking place: in the north with the Houthis, in the south with the people in the southern of Yemen, and with Al-Qaeda. Al Jazeera is located there, and it is the TV station that reports to the Yemenis about their situation. I think it is the local TV station for the Yemenis and for the rest of the world about Yemen. That angered the government. They confiscated our broadcasting equipment. And thanks to the Yemeni people who marched in the streets of Yemen and who objected to politicians, to independent, journalists, to thousands of people who came to our office and they supported us, and eventually the government brought back the equipment, and now again our bureau in Yemen is broadcasting.
Are you experiencing situations like that in other parts of the world?
Almost weekly. Unfortunately, we are living in a state of flux in the Middle East, transformation. Our governments have a lot of problems with the people They have a lot of problems with the issues of democracy, the issues of human rights. So if you may broadcast a report that might anger this president or this prime minister or this intelligence agency, then you are off air in that country, or your reporter is questioned by the intelligence or put in jail and so on. So on a daily basis, we have some kind of conflicts that are going. But this is nothing new. Al Jazeera is used to that. And that's what made Al Jazeera unique. Had we been, in good terms with governments and with authorities and centers of power, we would have been like any other broadcaster, without any taste, without any courage, without any kind of proper, truthful relationship with the audience.
You were the only international network in Gaza during the siege of Gaza. The Israeli government did not allow in other reporters.
Yeah, we have been in many hotspots, actually.
In the actual assault.
Exactly. In the actual assault, we were in Gaza, and we have excellent teams reporting within Gaza and also from the Israeli side in Israel. And I think the best coverage ever done for a war was through Al Jazeera screen, both Arabic and English, whereby you are seeing two sides at the same time, and you are reflecting real-time, live, the events of the war. It was something, for 23 years, definitely that was one of the best coverages ever done for a war.
The Egyptian foreign minister says that Al Jazeera reflects the ideology of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Luckily, he didn't say they reflect the ideology of Al-Qaeda. You can expect anything from unfortunately, from our ministers and from intelligence agencies in the region and from governments. They have been for a long time, criticizing Al Jazeera. One day we are pro-Saddam Hussein, the other day we are pro-Al-Qaeda. The third day, and that is important, we are pro-Mossad. And we are created by CIA. And officially, I can tell you that some intelligence agencies in the region requested from journalists and the newspapers that they have say over to publish articles declaring Al Jazeera as enemy of the Arabs and Muslims because it has been created by the CIA and the Zionists. Now the same government sometimes come out, and if in the West they say no, it is pro-Muslim Brotherhood or pro-Al-Qaeda or pro-Saddam Hussein. There is nothing like that. Al Jazeera is a representation of diversity in the Arab world. In our newsroom, we have every single nationality, we have every single ideology, we have every single background. However, when it comes to the screen, we have one code of ethics and one code of conduct. All of us are proud of our commitment to our audience, and we will never betray them. We can never be, we cannot be representing single view or ideology or party or whatever like that. We cannot afford to do so. We are in a region that's going transformation. How could we be pro-Muslim Brotherhood or pro-Arab nationalists or pro-whoever, since the Arabs have not yet discovered what kind of path they are going to go?
We're talking to Wada Khanfar, Director General of Al Jazeera, the entire network. Sami al-Hajj, held at Guantanamo for what, something like 6 years? 6.5 years, your reporter.
Yeah.
He said that when he was interrogated, hundreds of times he was interrogated, he was repeatedly asked about the leadership of Al Jazeera.
That's correct. 120-something times he was interrogated, and he was asked about the leadership of Al Jazeera. He was asked about some anchors and the presenters on Al Jazeera, and he was asked to cooperate